Hey, push boys. Hi. That was very chipper. That's coffee. That's coffee for you. Hi. My name is Ginger. Welcome to the introduction of Grief and Potluck podcast. Yes, for us visual learners. Podcast, Grief and Potluck. That's me. This is what we're doing. Hi. Welcome. Appreciate you coming by. Logo will be coming soon. She's a cute little thing. Yes, she is. All right. So welcome to the podcast of Grief and Potluck. This is a simple introduction. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, where did I come from? What am I doing this for? Who am I? I'm glad you asked. Well, my name is Ginger. If I forgot to say that, my bad. My name is Ginger. Hi. I started a magazine online about 3 months ago, give or take, and wanted to expand on that horizon. So here we are, expanding on that horizon. So let me take you to that real quick. It is called www.celebrationsoflifemagazine.com. Why I say the www? Because if you don't tap it, you're going to go some other places. Okie dokie. Hence, I got you here at www.celebrationsoflifemagazine.com. Now, for future knowledge, Grief and Potluck, yep, coming soon. You will be able to find where the podcast is besides here, because here may not always exist. So there will be other platforms for the podcast. Also, shout out to one of my writers, Tavana, for giving me the idea. She didn't specifically give me the idea, but she, in her article, gave me the idea. So I highly recommend you check out her podcast called She Is Still Standing. So I want to give a proper shout out because I was inspired. Her site is tavanagivens.com. Okay? So go check her out. She's got a good podcast there for ladies who have lost a husband. So, as you may have guessed already, grief and potluck is, yep, it is what it is. We're going to talk about those things. We're going to talk about grief. We're going to talk about how we move past grief. We're going to talk about prepping for grief, because we can always plan in advance for a funeral. But do we? We plan a year and sometimes more for that wedding. Ooh la la, the wedding. Plan 9 months for the baby. Plan to buy a home. Plan to take a trip. We plan, we plan, we plan. Sometimes we're so spontaneous, which is fine. Don't get us wrong. Spontaneity is good things. Yet, the inevitable, we're all going to do it. Yep. That's a common denominator. We're born and we die. Ta-da! We have something in common. I'm so happy that we have that in common. Thanks. Thanks for coming by. So if you're still here, you're not freaked out, you're amongst the many who are in the transition of going from death to, we got to think about it. Positive. Death positive. That is what you're called. That is the culture of this thought process. It's not disgusting. It's not morbid. Yet we stick in that taboo realm of scary, horrific, frightening. Why? Honestly, I think the month of October, alluding to a certain holiday that's not really a holiday, more like a reason to go get free candy. Yeah. And get discount candy after the fact. I think that has put a morbidity stamp. That's my stamp on the topic at large. So death. It looms large, that word, it does. So we're going to talk about it, and we're not going to be afraid of it. No, we're not. Yes, we're going to grieve. Oh, look at me. Getting verklempt now, because I have had people recently, know people in the process, and friends who are, well, they're not my age because they died 2 years ago, but they were still my age when they died 2 years ago. So that's life. Life happens. We're born and we die. 2 things we have in common. If nothing else brings us together, people, that does. Okay? Okay. Pardon me, I'm going to have a lady moment here. I'm going to dab. Woo. Alrighty then. Did not expect that moment. Alright, so in this grief and potluck, back to the Happy Magazine, we are going to share. We're going to celebrate the life you leave behind. Why? Because, well, grieving is the living. You're dead. That sounded wrong, but that's a fact. So we, the living, are celebrating the life that you, the dead, have left behind. Now, how do we do that? People do it all kinds of ways. I was fortunate to speak with a lady from Sweden, and you can see that article in my past YouTube post. Well, let's just get to the channel and make my life easier. I had another thought process on that one. All right. So, you know, there is stuff on here. All right, here we go. So, September issue. There are 2 videos because this is a long article. And I'm sorry, I don't know why that does what that does. But in the September issue, you will see we talk about various things as well as different cultures. So, various articles, various people, various conversations. And so we're extending that conversation here. Okay? So, I'm sorry, I can't seem to find that right now, but check out the website, www.celebrationsoflifemagazine.com. Click on any of the YouTube links. Yes, they're all over the place, right here. Nature and Art Walks. Click here. Woo! And we'll take you to one of the many nature walks that we've currently done. Art walks are to be done shortly. All right? So, in dealing with grief and potluck, potluck is food. The definition of potluck can be done as a meal or a party to which each of the guests contributes a dish. So, welcome to my party. You're going to contribute a dish. Okay? It's going to be good. It's going to be acceptable. It's talking about death. It's not going to hurt us. It's talk. Talk doesn't hurt us. It might make us feel things such as grief, such as happiness, such as whatever you're going to feel. That's your emotions are going to happen. Okay? In that regard, again, you can find me in various places. But as far as the Facebook, Ta-da! Poetry contest coming up. Pinterest. If you like to pin, I do. Some ideas here. If you like to Instagram, there it is. Look at that. Grief and potluck. Fun times. Oops, don't look at that. All right. YouTube. Lots of options. Things to see. Here we go. Here's Sweden. Had a moment. Zoodaloo. I will find this Sweden. I will. There she is. All right. It's catching up to itself. But in the September issue 2020, part 1, you will see conversations with a lovely lady from Sweden. Yes, apparently Heige has nothing to do with Sweden. But that's okay. It's a learning process. It's what I'm here for. All right? So, not only will you see the podcast posted and where you can listen to it, you can also listen to it currently here, which happens to be YouTube. But that's because this is where we're at in the moment. Introductions. Okay? Again, my name is Ginger. This is the intro to podcast called Grief and Potluck. So yeah, we're going to deal with topics. We're going to figure out what we need to go forward. We're going to figure out how to plan. We're going to figure out what's necessary. We're going to figure out if we're being lied to by certain industry standards. Because there are things that your body goes into when you die. And so the requirements, some of the facts, it's not all boring here, people, because I can't help myself. I have a sense of humor. So, welcome to Grief and Potluck. I look forward to sharing with you further in the near future. Don't eat too much candy. Don't think of death as something disgusting. Think of it as just a fact of life. We're born and we die. Two things we have in common. All right. I look forward to talking with you again soon. Thanks so much for taking the time to hang out here with me. Please don't forget to like and subscribe so you stay in touch. Lots of ways to stay in touch. Yeah. Thanks so much. Hope you have a great day. Like and subscribe.